All right, let's talk about female belly fat because this is very different than the pear-shaped woman who is dealing with hips, butt, and thigh fat. There are plenty of women out there who feel like their problem area is actually belly fat, which is somewhat similar to men. However, the fix for female belly fat is very different than the fix for belly fat in men. So let's get into this a little bit. Let's first talk about the science of what is going on with a woman who is dealing with belly fat. It's probably different than what you think it is. So here is how this works. Menopause is a great example of this, but I don't want you to get too caught up on menopause, and the reason why is because what I'm going to show you is that many women, including younger women, are dealing with the exact same thing. So even though I'm putting menopause here because that menopause is known to cause female belly fat, I don't want you to get too caught up on that because if you are a younger woman, it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and nowhere near menopause, this same situation is happening to you. Obviously, if you are in menopause, and we all know the notorious menopause belly that comes along with menopause, you're going to understand why that happens. First thing that happens in a woman who is under stress is that you will see a decrease in estrogen and a decrease in progesterone. One of the things you might not be aware of about estrogen and progesterone is that they make the body less reactive to both insulin and cortisol. In other words, more estrogen and progesterone means you're less likely to be stress reactive and more likely to be insulin sensitive. In other words, estrogen and progesterone are wonderful at giving women the hourglass shape and keeping fat storage from happening around the belly. The other thing about stress, and this is interesting in a woman, and women, by the way, research has shown they are more sensitive to stress. Their hormones are more reactive to stress. And so they will see decreases in estrogen and decreases in progesterone. But in the short term, their testosterone levels will go up. And you would think that that would be a good thing. And it is in men, but it is not in women. Whenever the distribution between estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone starts leaning more towards testosterone, then what happens is women are more likely to get thicker waists instead of their nice tiny waists that are a hallmark of the hourglass shape. In addition to that, because these women are more stress reactive, they will become more insulin resistant and more cortisol reactive. And all of this together leads to fat gain. Now you might say, Jade, how does that lead to fat gain? Because stress makes you crave more. Stress makes you hungry. Stress makes your energy more unpredictable. And whenever you become insulin resistant because of that stress and because you're overeating, it's more likely that you will gain fat. And then you have this other hormonal situation, decreased estrogen, decreased progesterone, and increased testosterone that causes that fat storage to all happen around the belly. Now, isn't this interesting? Female belly fat, whether it's through menopause or whether you're a younger woman, what do you think the major cause is? It's not because you're eating too much or exercising too little necessarily. It's probably more because you are stressing too much. And so that's what you want to be working on. You want to be thinking about this idea that lower estrogen and progesterone will cause changes to hunger, energy, and cravings that cause you to eat more, and that they will also cause you to be less exercise responsive. In other words, less likely to be able to deal with the stress of exercise, because exercise can easily, if you do too much of it, tip over into being a stress. And these women with lower estrogen and progesterone levels are more likely to register exercise as a stress. All of this together means that they are actually more stress reactive, meaning more cortisol, and more carb sensitive, meaning more insulin. And that means fat gain and belly fat.